Section 1 of Aunt Jo's Scrap Bag, Volume 5, by Louisa May Alcott. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recorded by Lois Beach Yoder, Charlotte, North Carolina. Aunt Jo's Scrap Bag, Volume 5, Chapter 1. Jimmy's Cruise in the Pinafore. How he Shipped. A boy sat on a doorstep in a despondent attitude, with his eyes fixed on a pair of very shabby shoes, his elbows resting on his knees, as if to hide the big patches there. But it was not the fact that his toes were nearly out and his clothes dilapidated which brought the wrinkles to his forehead and the tears to his eyes, for he was used to that state of things and bore it without complaint. The prospect was a dull one for a lively lad full of the spring longings which sunny April weather always brings. But it was not the narrow back street where noisy children played, and 2 or 3 dusty trees tried to bud without sunshine, that made him look so dismal. Nor was it the knowledge that a pile of vests was nearly ready for him to trudge away with before he could really rest, after doing many errands to save mother's weary feet. No, it was a burden that lay heavily on his heart and made it impossible to even whistle as he waited. Above the sounds that filled the street he heard a patient moan from the room within, and no matter what object his eyes rested on, he saw with sorrowful distinctness a small, white face turned wistfully toward the window, as if weary of the pillow where it had laid so long. Merry little Kitty, who used to sing and dance from morning till night, was now so feeble and wasted that he could carry her about like a baby. All day she lay moaning softly, and her one comfort was when Brother would come and sing to her. That night he could not sing. His heart was so full, because the doctor had said that the poor child must have country air as soon as possible, else she would never recover from the fever which left her such a sad little ghost of her former self. But alas, there was no money for the trip, and Mother was sewing day and night to earn enough for a week at least of blessed country air and quiet. Jimmy did his best to help, but could find very little to do, and pennies came in so slowly he was almost in despair. There was no father to lend a strong hand, and Mrs. Nelson was one of the silent poor, who cannot ask for charity no matter how much they may need it. The 12-year-old boy considered himself the man of the family, and manfully carried as many burdens as his young shoulders would bear, but this was a very heavy one, so it is no wonder that he looked sober. Holding his curly head in his hands, as if to keep it from flying asunder with the various plans working inside, he sat staring at the dusty bricks in a desperate frame of mind. Warm days were coming, and every hour was precious, for poor Kitty pined in the close room, and all he could do was to bring her dandelions and bits of green grass from the common when she begged to go in the fields and pick pretties for herself. He loved his little sister dearly, and as he remembered her longing, his eyes filled, and he doubled up both fists with an air of determination, muttering to himself, "She shall go. I don't see any other way, and I'll do it." The plan which had been uppermost lately was this. His father had been a sailor, and Jimmy proposed to run away to sea as cabin boy. His wages were to be paid before he went, so Mother and Kitty could be in the country while he was gone. In a few months he would come sailing gaily home to find the child her rosy self again. A very boyish and impossible plan, but he meant it, and was in just the mood to carry it out, for every other attempt to make money had failed. "I'll do it as sure as my name is Jim Nelson. I'll take a look at the ships this very night, and in the first one that will have me," he said, with a resolute nod of the head,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?